cast. I had a lot of fun. See you guys again. But we're going to roll right into the next game. Both teams are ready. It's going to be all the Rush Core going up against Bedroom Donkey. We've all been cordially invited into the bedroom. So I'm going to get everything set up on that end.
I'm okay with the bedroom. I'm not okay with the donkey.
Hey. Everybody's okay with the donkey. And I mean everybody.
Okay.
And I can type. I swear I can. What the heck is going on? All right.
Moving on to a completely different team.
Oh, rip. Hang on. I went the solo screen because I'm good at this. Why is this happening? All right. I know what I'm doing. Frozo, I actually got this T-shirt just today. Obslinks in the draft. They started the draft. No problem. No problem. Let me get you the obs link. That is not the obs link. That is just me typing a name. All right, there we go. Draft link for you, good sir. Whispered in Battle.net.
Appreciate it. My hair is wild. My hair is pretty wild right now. I have a little bit of a cold today, so I didn't do much to make myself look presentable. When I was streaming earlier, I just left my camera off. Wow, they're a good bit of the way through this draft. They were like, we don't want to wait for
they
you.
said they started.
So this is Tomb of the Spider Queen, All Rush Core versus Bedroom Donkey. And Thrall banned out, Zagara banned out, Malfurion picked up. No one respecting the Zarya. I'm just a little bit surprised. She wasn't nerfed that badly, but maybe they don't have any Zarya players.
I think it takes a lot of technical skill to really make Zarya work, especially after the previous nerf. And it also, I like to call it a competency check. Because if the enemy team is able to play around the shields and not allow her to build up energy, and she's just kind of hitting with a wet noodle these days. But if she is able to comfortably have those energy stacks, she could do work.
But if you're winning the lane, you can just go get energy from tower shots. You don't even need to worry about it.
Fair, at least for the early game. This is Tomb of the Spider Queen, so I'm not surprised to see Asthma Dunk getting picked up.
I wonder if we're gonna
composition.
You think we're gonna see Sieging Wrath or Taste for Blood?
Based off of the Leoric pick, I would opt for the former. If that was Johanna, who has been since banned, I think it would be hard for them to really build stacks up with the current comp that they have. I don't know.
I have multi-shot plus a Leoric's Q. It's enough in the early game, and then post 7, one Leoric Q will be enough with the scaling, and if you can manage to stack it adequately going on. But EDC Jaina picked up, so we do have that synergy. We can have Power Slide into Root, into Blizzard, guaranteeing at least 2 waves, if not 3, depending on body blocks. So there's a lot of pick potential. But the thing about Jaina on Tomb is that Blizzard's a 15-second cooldown. Waves spawn every 30 seconds. You're rotating back and forth through new lanes. If you use Blizzard to clear waves, you never have Blizzard for the pick potential. It just doesn't exist. So you need to have enough wave clear outside of that to make something happen.
Overboard Gaming just hosted us with 81 viewers. Thank you, good sirs. Both of you guys. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. An exciting game ahead. Some chair league action for the fronts of your faces. Snack says Leo plus multi-shot easy stacks. I mean, that's a fair point. It's a fair point.
It's really just math. Sony picked up as the solo laner, and Sony Jaina is one of those old school combos that we don't see anymore because we don't see Jaina, and Sony's also fallen off with their recent nerfs. But it's a really difficult thing to deal with in team fights. If Sony can stay on top of you, you're probably going to die.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, the Wombo is there. If Sonya goes for Leap, I would. If I'm on the side of All Rush Core, you Leap, Power Slide. That's in the route for Malfurion all the time in the world to land a game-changing Ring of Frost. Level 10, I feel, will be a huge power spike for them. Bedroom Donkey, with only a few seconds left in their time pool. How did they respond to this?
I don't know, but hopefully not with another ranged hero. They win another ranged hero.
I turned my Twitch alerts back on. You looked up just as it said Donna was hosting. Falstad for the disengage. The poke potential will be there. Potential solo laner. Okay.
That's triple ranged again.
It is.
Apparently they weren't watching the last game.
I share your concern. You and I were talking about this earlier. In general, I'm wary of a solo Leoric composition. As a main tank player, I would feel like I'm having a difficult time successfully peeling for my team. You add that with a triple range backline and a solo Brightwing who isn't really known for burst damage, going up against the sustained damage of Jaina, or of Raynor, and the burst damage of Jaina. Positioning and engage will be very key for Bedroom Donkey, I feel. But we'll see. Socrates dropping that smooth knowledge.
I don't know. I mean, Executioner is going to give a lot of value for 16 on Raynor. Season Marksman's very easy to complete on this map. But I don't know.
On paper, I have to say I am a fan of All Rush Core's composition quite a bit more. The Double Warrior will buy time for Malfurion sustained healing to have an impact.
It's just so solid.
Sustained damage in Raynor, Jaina for the burst. I feel like Bedroom Donkey, they're playing more of a I don't want to say one-dimensional, but a lot is riding on the shoulders of this Azmodan pick. If he does go for the Taste for Blood talent and he goes to build those stacks, if he fails to get those stacks, they're gonna struggle. But if the poke damage is there to warrant a defensive stance out of Malfurion, Jaina, and Raynor, they can make this thing work.
I don't know. I have a feeling if this works, it's only going to work because Leo dies a lot, but somehow manages to trade off of the Entomb Gust combo for multiple kills off of the Asmo. But that's not a realistic scenario. That shouldn't happen.
We'll see. I'm curious to see how this plays out. I feel like there's more of a safety net for All Rush Core's comp. There's just a lot of different facets to it, a lot more methods of sustain. Whereas Bedroom Donkey's comp is just like you see where it's going. Like the orbs have to be there. The ability to end a team fight before it really even starts has to be there, because if it's not, it could get rough. It could get rough, but we'll see.
I mean, if you're gonna go, hi cats. If you're gonna go solo tank, I don't know about why we'd ever pick solo Leoric. You have Murden. I mean, Johanna was banned out, but Murden, is a reasonable solo frontliner. Someone who doesn't just die would be good. I don't know. Yeah. I think of Bruiser as the anti-warrior tank, in a sense. His percent-based damage is really good versus high-health warriors. But ETC doesn't really fit into that description. A lot of his tanking comes from his sustain talents, his E. And I don't know. We should introduce the teams, though.
We will. On the left side, we do have All Rush Core, Malthron's on Malfurion, Steacism, the captain's on ETC, Pilgrim's playing Raynor, Jamison's on Sonya, and Star Weapon X rounding out the comp on Jaina.
On the right side, the red side, we have Hyacinth Lade on Brightwing, Yedwong Hat on Asmodan, Uller on Leoric, Silverin on Vala, and Strofa on Falstad. None of those names are easy to say except for Strofa.
Hyacinth Lade. You have Flippity Gibbet, I got Hyacinth Lade because I cast these guys pretty often. Steacism in the bush, waiting to see who wants to step forward. Yedwong potentially in range, as is Uller. Engage will be serious. All eyes will be on ETC for me in these team fights. Engage goes in on Uller. Leoric has to E out, but he's going to drop early. Perhaps a precursor of things to come.
Yeah, that did not go the way they wanted it to go, but it went exactly the way I thought it was going to go. We do see Taste for Blood was the pickup at level 1. Strofo is the solo winner versus Sonya. That's a lane that Strofo should lose, but Jameson could easily make a mistake and take too much damage, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We're going to see Z-Build out of Brightwing, and we're seeing Block Party and Shendo's Clarity picked up for ETC and Malfurion, so not the talents I would expect to see on this map in particular.
I would imagine that Shando's clarity specifically has Jaina in mind. Uller back to business, almost getting blown up again for the second takedown, less than 200 health. He hits the wall, so he's going to be okay for the moment. 9 or 10 gems to 12 in Rising for both of these teams. Both these teams are still level 2. Power Slide goes in from ETC. Silver Raven caught forward. Can she get back behind the tower? She does. Lives to fight another day.
Not doing a great job of stacking. Only at 16 so far off of their 4th minion wave. Normally you're looking, ideally you get 7 per wave. That's not realistic in the early game. But getting 3 to 4 per minion wave is pretty good in the early game. They're not quite at that benchmark yet, although they are getting close to catching up.
They're developing a rhythm. I mean, their composition is playing for the late game for sure. Like we were talking about in draft, the ability to get these stacks will define the game for them, I'm sure. Slight experience lead for All Rush Core on their way to level 4. And they're starting to get ahead in the wave clear rotation. Could lead to things down the road.
And they do have better wave clear. They have that going for them. This is always a consideration on this map. If you have better wave clear, you can get ahead in the rotation, and the enemy team is forced to respond to you. That's why one of the primary reasons that Zul is such a strong pickup on this map. But they're barely, keeping up right now, just because of the pick potential. Every time a kill happens, they're immediately back to square one. Strofa, however, in the bot lane is winning versus Jameson. Jameson is at half health, completely chunked out. And he's just taking too much free damage from Falstad.
If I'm going to set a bedroom donkey, something that I would entertain is you go to top, you clear wave, you go mid, you clear the wave there. Instead of going back to top, see if you can get the kill on Sonya with the hard rotation. If Falstad's able to bait Sonya forward, I wouldn't expect that if I'm going up against Azmodan, and that might be how you get an advantage on other parts of the map.
It'd be a pretty standard strategy for other comps, but without a tank with hard CC, it's very difficult to pull that sort of thing off. Like, you get down there and Sonya just walks away, and then you feel real bad.
It would be a gamble for sure, but they're keeping up in experience. They are hanging on that front. It's been only one takedown. Uller has understood the precariousness of his situation. He goes out there too far. But how are we looking on the Azmodan stacks?
Their stacks have caught up significantly. They're starting to do a really good job. They're at 90 out of 500, so they're almost to that 100 mark. The 100, 120 mark, if you get that by level 10, is when Asmo can start one-shotting waves with his heroic. It's level 6, and they're there. They should be able to get, at this rate, the 200 to 230 range before level 10, and if you can do that, then you're in incredibly good shape for the late game.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. 90 by the 4-minute mark. You were ahead of the curve on average, I feel. I was concerned, at least, for their ability to get the stacks. I feel it was going to be integral to their success in the late game, and they're on track to have that in their toolkit. Strofo rotates up with the cheeky play on Jamison. Sonya is going to force the retreat. Is the barrel roll? Is Q going to be on? Just as able to get away.
He lives, and he has a fly available, so that doesn't even matter. He can just fly right back down. And he took Wingman at level 1. He did bribe that bottom siege camp, and it's pushing in. It's gotten the entire bottom wall at this point. And again, he should not be winning that lane, but he's destroying it. Very good play by Strofo.
Yeah, the positioning is key. If he manages to avoid the spear from Sonya and he times his W for when the spin is off the cooldown, a lot of that damage is going to stick, and maybe he's just kiting them successfully. Polymorph goes in on ETC, starts to back away. Malthrin's there with enough mana to keep him alive. First set of Web Weavers is going to show up, and we have another host. Thanks, QWERTY, by the way. Here comes the members of All Rush Core.
And level 7 picked up here for both teams. A little bit surprised to see Deathdealer picked up over Arsenal. We have been seeing almost full multi-shot builds. Gonna try a little bit of a hybrid here. We'll have to see if that burst damage is worthwhile. Cleanse picked up for Brightwing, which I think is mandatory versus this comp, but again, triple range with Brightwing as a sole support. You're picking up Cleanse. You're gonna have a little bit of a problem. And they're getting a lot of value out of this first Web Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, the merits of having a double warrior front line, I feel, are presenting themselves, as well as the range damage. The other Strofo barrel rolls just avoids the power slide. Polymorph goes in, has Interlades there to try to make a stand and save this top fort. And the members of All Rush Core do start the retreat, but power slide might be off a cooldown. Bedroom Donkey does not want to overextend in this situation.
That would not have happened pre-patch with the increased speed from Double Neck Guitar. That would have actually hit Strofo. So Strofo managing to dodge the new, slower version of Power Slide. And if they can get a turn in here and relieve the pressure from their lanes, they're going to be in really good shape. Asmo is currently at 160 stacks.
Strofo with the sick, nasty fly in, lands the flank on Raynor, takes him out. Strofo's now on the ropes. Brightwing's not going to be able to keep him up. Turns this into a 1v1 affair, or 1 kick down to 1. Silver Raven eats the Blizzard. Heisen's going to start backing away. No one else is going to drop it. The first set of the Web Weavers for Bedroom Donkey are on their way.
And we're seeing some really good Asmo today. I really feel like Strofo and Yedwong Hat are carrying the team in a sense, because they're doing so much work in keeping the lanes pushed, getting those picks, keeping vision, just tons and tons and tons of effort. We've seen Oller be a little bit overextended multiple times, but they've always managed to almost always managed to trade that damage.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely looking strong right now. First set of Web Weavers are here for Bedroom Donkey, but level 10's not too far off for Rush for Core. So Bedroom Donkey aren't really in a position to be too forward-leaning with this push. But if they are able to get a pick somewhere, if they're able to make something happen, they could jump up in experience and look to press the advantage towards the mid-game.
And we do see Jamison in the bot lane clearing out that Web Weaver, and because they're clearing all 3 lanes at the same time and getting all that experience, they do win the race to 10. We do see Mosh Pit picked up, as well as Twilight Dream, Hyperion, Wrath, and Ring of Frost. No big surprises there. We were talking a little bit about Leap just diving onto that back line, but without a hard support, a lot of burst healing, they opt not to do that. We do see Strofo flying down to the bottom, getting that bribe, but Vala gets picked off, as does Leoric, in the top lane, and they didn't have 10 yet. They were just a little too far forward for not having 10.
The narrowest of margins can have such huge implications. I mean, there was like, what, a 15, 20-second tops window where level 10 was not there for Bedroom Donkey. Stoicism leads the charge, finds Vala, lands the power slide, Mosh Pit. A heavy investment, a 2-minute cooldown, but it nets the kill on both Vala and Leoric. Catapults them further ahead.
And we do see Yedwong Hat just focusing again on stacking. He is at 210 stacks right now, which means he can solo stack off of all waves with his heroic if necessary. And he's even, not too far away from being able to kill a wave without his heroic. So in the very, very near future, that's going to be a super big problem for the blue team. They just don't have enough wave clear to keep up with that level of pressure.
Strofo landing the clutch Mighty Gust to secure the disengage. And if I'm on the side of Bedroom Donkey, I would actually feel pretty good right now. I mean, you have the definition of a late game composition, but you are doing a really good job in building up these stacks. By the time level 13, 16 comes around, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and the rule of thumb, when Team Liquid started this comp, their rule of thumb way back in the day was if we're 2 levels behind throughout the entire game when on Tomb with Asmo, we're actually fine. That's even. Being even in experience, being really good on stacks, and having an Asmo comp, you're in good shape. You're actually ahead, even if you're doesn't quite look like it right now.
Yeah, the Stoicism power slides in. Ring of Frost does land on Uller. Not the most ideal target. He should be able to get out of there. No, he's not. He's going to go down. 5 takedowns to 1 so far. Turn in is starting for all Rush Core, and they should get another set of weapons.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of damage consistently. Uller's never quite where he needs to be. His Wraith Walk is used in awkward times. He keeps getting caught by things. And a big part of that is he didn't take Hardened Bones, so that burst does kill him. He can't use Wraith Walk as a disengage to safely get away the way we normally see. And he's even took Lingering Apparition to increase the duration, and it's still not enough. He's just playing too far forward for a triple range comp.
I feel like if you're going to take Lingering Apparition, then the Hardened Bones is almost a requirement, especially going up against the burst and sustained damage that all Rush Core brings to the table. Definitely more value to be had, I feel, out of the different talent choice at the 4 level. But another set of Web Weavers are here. Full level lead, 13 tier advantage. All Rush Core have to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, they do. That is going to be middle fort down there. They're a full level ahead. They have that talent tier advantage, but Strofo in the top lane doing a ton of work depushing that Web Weaver. And they're not going to lose a keep off of this. As long as they don't lose a keep before Asmo has max stacks, they're going to be in good shape. And it's going to be a long time before the next turn-in happens because of how many gems have been dropped by both teams. So if they can just defend this successfully, they should be fine for the foreseeable future.
They do rotate down. There's enough damage on this bottom fort. I don't know how much further I would want to extend myself over this. You still don't have level 13. One of the Random Vengeance procs gets used. The disengage is secured for all Rush Core, but Silver Raven still trying to poke the bear. They're at a tier disadvantage. We saw what can happen in a small window at the heroic stage. Hopefully they don't make the same mistake.
Yeah, we have seen Yedwong Hat overusing his heroic a little bit. He doesn't have it available for the team fights, but Vala ends up getting caught out again, as does Brightwing with the power slide, and that's going to be 2 kills to none. It's a little bit too far forward. They need to be more conservative in their positioning. They can't push out that far until they're ready to fight. And they're not ready to fight until Asmo's finished his stacks. But Strofo, again, oh no, barely gets the gust off in time. He does manage to live. And Yedwong Hat, 296 stacks. He gets the kill on the Jaina. That gave him a stack. That gave him 1 stack for the record. That Jaina kill was a stack. That's just the sweetest feeling in the world as an Asmodee.
Yedwong says, "Welcome to the bedroom." Lands the orb on Jaina's face, surprising the Ice Mage with a nice takedown. There's some huge implications out of it. That was another instance where all Rush Core were able to make a huge play off of a tier advantage. Vala and Brightwing were arguably caught forward. It seemed like there was a bit of miscommunication. It was like, all right, let's get the bottom fort. But then 3 members of Bedroom Donkey started backing away, and Vala and Brightwing were still committed to taking down the fort. Left them forward, left them waiting to respawn.
Yeah, that was really good. They needed to get that kill there to take off the pressure. Yedwong Hat still using his heroic at awkward times. Every time his team's around, he's using it regardless. But sometimes when his team's around, he doesn't need it, and then he didn't have it for another wave that was in the mid lane there. He could actually be easily over 400 right now if he'd been using it a little bit better. Instead, he's... Oh, that's a mosh. Nope, Gust for the instant disengage. Vala actually lives. Oh my, that was an amazing Gust.
That is some high-level coordination for your face to cleanse with the Mighty Gust, save Silver Raven's bacon 100%, and that's a 2-minute cooldown. If I'm on the side of Bedroom Donkey, I'm looking to take a fight now because one of the key forms of engagement on the side of all Rush Core is not available right now.
Except they can't take a fight. They don't want to take any fights until Asmo's finished stacking, and he's not there yet. He's getting close to 400 stacks, but that's not enough. They really want to make sure those are finished, and they can keep their lanes pushed out. All Asmo needs to do is, use his heroic on cooldown to keep the lanes pushed. And they can keep them pushed out for forever, but this is going to be a turn-in soon for the blue team. They're 5 gems off, which is only, 1 rotation of waves, or even just 2 waves. And we see Yedwong Hat using globes to interrupt the turn-in that they don't even know is happening rather than stacking. You need to be 100% focused on stacking. Stacking. You can't fight until you're done stacking, so it needs to be the priority.
This damage has been real so far, even without the 500 stacks. Level 16 is around the corner. The reason why I was saying that they need to try to take a fight in that moment is because it would be one of the rare opportunities where they could fight as a 5-person unit on even talent tiers. Every time they've lost heroes, every time the momentum is swung back in the favor of all Rush Core, it's been in these narrow windows like right now where the blue team has a tier advantage and Bedroom Donkey does.
We do see... I call it, if you can get an Entomb, if you can get a big Entomb and have the immediate follow-up of all of the burst abilities, you will instantly get those kills. Hyperion does get used, but does not manage to do any meaningful damage. Even though they were down a talent tier, that Entomb was so good. That's all you need, and they didn't even have to lose Leora for it.
That was a crisp engagement, even down talent tiers, an impressive amount of damage. Welcome to NBA Jam. Asmodunk with the long-range jump shot secures the kill on Reyna. 4 gems about to be turned in on Olin. They do have enough. If they do focus on that. Stoicism steps into the bush, gets the polymorph, eats a bunch of damage, starts to retreat. The orb goes in on Malfurion's face, knocks him down to half health. But the blue web weavers are turned in, negating some of the potential momentum for Bedroom Donkey.
Yeah, they do manage to sneak that turn in though, so no pressure gonna happen. They are gonna get top forward off of just the Asmo dunk pressure. And if the lanes are this pushed in and you get a turn in, you gotta feel real bad about it because the web weavers take damage over time. The longer it takes them to advance to doing actual structure damage, the less likely you are to actually get the damage, a significant amount of damage that you really want. And that is so... Jameson is chunked.
I mean, that's Sonya whose health bar is dropping like that. I mean, all things considered, when you look at the compositions, this, in a lot of ways, has been a success for Bedroom Donkey. They're now level 16, same levels. Critter Rise was picked up on Brightwing, so all these orbs are going to have quite the exclamation point. Bit of counter synergy there. Mighty Gus securing a disengage, but the orb's going to miss.
And we are waiting on the Heroic to come up. Eadwong Hat wants these stacks, but oh no, he does finally wait for his team to do it for him, and does get them as a result. Doesn't need his Heroic after all. Saving it for the fight. Hyperion comes down again just for the siege pressure, and you can see how low that Webweaver already is. And that is so much damage, but everyone's going so deep. The Mosh Pit goes down, but gets instantly interrupted. Ring goes down in the follow-up, however, and they manage to get 2. They trade Leoric for Sonya. That's a good trade. Jada gets dumped. And aggressive fly. I'm not sure about that one. So I was like, oh no, wait, no, that was a bad idea. Never mind. I'm leaving. Timeout. And they actually.
Yeah. He's like, oh wait, Mighty Gus is still not off a cooldown. My bad, guys. That was a key moment, though. They managed to save the middle keep, and in my opinion, that was one of the last opportunities that All Rush Core was going to have to really press an advantage. Yeah, this is going to be a long time before they get the level, get another set of turn-ins. They only have 23 gems in their pockets. This is a big window where they got to watch out for these orbs.
Yeah, I mean, and we can see, I'm surprised Sonya didn't take Spell Shield. I mean, EDC doesn't have Spell Shield anymore, but Sonya has Spell Shield. She did go for the standard Mystical Spear. But with the ability to turn Spell Shield on and off now, it's the perfect solution to the huge amount of burst that Azmodan represents. Because it's so, you can see it coming. You can literally see the targeting circle. You can turn it back on. Very surprised not to see that picked up. And 16 for both teams here. A lot of pressure from the Asmo, and he's getting pretty close to being done. Another 38 minions last hit, and he'll be in good shape.
And we'll see. Strofo is able to get the siege camp in the bottom lane. That got a good amount of value last time. He's looking to make sure that happens again. All Rush Core are sniffing out the boss in the top lane. They're going to start this bad boy up. More or less are going to concede another set of Web Weavers for Bedroom Donkey. I'm curious to see how this plays out.
They get the turn in, and as soon as they get the turn in, they know boss is being taken because it doesn't disappear from the map. They start rotating up. Ballstead with the fly. The globe actually gives vision. The vision's enough. They can just... No, Strofo doesn't risk it. He could have gone over the wall and gotten that with the gust. He knew where they were because of the vision from the globe, but they opted not to risk it. I'm surprised, considering how YOLO Strofo's been all game, that he didn't go for it.
It would have been aggressive for sure. I feel like if the orb got a kill somehow, then he would have felt much more confident in doing that. But if he dropped and other members of Bedroom Donkey dropped, Web Weavers or not, that could have cost him the game. So they just opt for a little more conservative play. Boss is going to get chunked down. The top keep is in jeopardy. Power Slide does miss. Right after Berserker gets called, Blackpool's going to get used. No range poke from the orb just yet. Can they save the top keep?
I don't think they're going to be able to save the top keep, but with the siege camp pushing bottom, they might be able to trade for the keep. Earl's going to go down again, as is Ball. The boss is going to die here momentarily, though. And that bottom keep should be going down. I feel like they just need to back off at this point. They've gotten the keep. They're not going to be able to end, I don't believe. And they need to make sure that the Web Weaver doesn't get any more value than it already has. So much damage. Mosh comes down actually on 2 targets, not interrupted. Polymorph apparently not available. The ring happens, and that could be game. I think it is.
I'm more than confident that that is. The Ring of Frost Mosh Pit combination is enough. A close contested game. At the end of the day, the Wombo makes itself apparent. All Rush Core comes away with the win.
And Asmo did not finish his stacks. You gotta finish the stacks.
I mean, even without that, though, he was doing some serious range damage. I was impressed with their ability to get the stacks that they got. Like I said in the draft, I just didn't see it. I've been proven wrong before. Vala and Leoric proved to be more than enough to help those stacks come up. That was a salvageable moment. If Azmodan was able to avoid the Mosh Pit, there were a couple of members on the side of All Rush Core that were low on health. If he just walked back towards the bottom keep, threw down a Blackpool and landed an orb to take out 1 or 2 of those members, like you said, the bottom keep was gonna go down over on the bottom left corner of the map. So if they were able to turn that team fight around, we might be having a very different conversation right now.
And again, I'm surprised Strofo didn't go over the wall with barrel roll.
It would have been bold. It would have been like I said, if he went in there and he died, that could have snowballed in the end of the game one way or the other. But that was a heck of a Ring of Frost for sure, because Hazintale was almost back behind the base, almost about to get healed up, and the Ring of Frost is like, wait.
We didn't talk about it, but I mean, they hit level 20 just as that push was happening. They actually took double Storm Shield. ETC took Storm Shield and Malf took Storm Shield. The Storm Shield saved them both times from surrendering those kills. So they were all low on health, but no one actually died. And that's the reason. It was because of that level 20 talent advantage, which is such a big advantage that people underestimate. I mean, talents matter a ton.
Yeah, I mean, Lord Boo agrees with you in chat. And Lord Boo, I did see what you said in the chat during the game. I'm glad you're enjoying the cast, man. PLK, thanks as well. Keith Stone, I saw your message during the game. Of course I enjoy casting you guys. Always a good time. But Lord Boo says here that's true for us year. I thought it was a really close game. From a raw composition standpoint, Bedroom Donkey actually impressed me because I thought that ETC's engage with Sonya's follow-up and the Wombo from Ring of Frost was going to lead to a lot of deletion with the solo Leoric frontline. But I mean, they held on. It was good.
Here's my thing. Bedroom Donkey, in a lot of ways, with the exception of maybe Vala being a little overextended, actually played quite a bit better than All Rush Core in terms of their mechanics and their decision making, and then they lost. And that's where triple ranged is. You have to play significantly better than the other team, or you just lose. And even if you play significantly better than the other team, sometimes you still just lose. So,
I mean, we definitely saw instances where they could have turned the game around. I think from a composition standpoint, if Leoric was Muradin or Johanna, they would have had an easier time, especially if it was Johanna for the ability to bring the minions together in the stacking phase. Flame Slinger, thanks for the follow, by the way, as well as Chipsticks earlier, 44 minutes ago. Thanks for the follow there. But that was a very fun game. It was a very fun game to watch. I wouldn't feel dismayed by that at all if I was Bedroom Donkey, because I thought they played very well. Both of the teams did a really good job. Very fun. At the end of the day, All Rush Core comes away with the victory. And thanks for all the compliments on the casting, guys. Always a good time to cast with the Socrates of Heroes of the Storm. Cavalier guest. But we do have a Pro Division set ahead of us. Cavalier, I don't know what you're